Trump strikes crushing blow against Obama's legacy. Huge win for Americans by Adam Castellino, Politics US News for MadWorldNews.com. Experts have already stated that President Donald Trump has shattered Barack Obama's legacy after only 1 year. Now the Trump administration has taken steps to undo one of the former president's worst policies. It will save most Americans thousands of dollars. Was there anything that Obama did that actually helped Americans? His signature achievement, Obamacare, was a flaming pile of garbage. It nearly wrecked our healthcare system. Numerous counties had only one option. Many millions struggled to find affordable insurance despite the so-called Affordable Care Act. Most of Obama's moves either aided big corporations or radical progressive groups. Former President Obama used issues like race or the environment as excuses to push greater government regulations. He expanded the size of government, eroding our individual rights in order to bring big businesses or special interests an advantage. Most of the time, we the people were hurt. That was never more true in his EPA regulations. Standards that were soon to go into effect were going to cost the average American big bucks. There was nothing to stop them until Trump took action. The Trump administration on Thursday moved to freeze fuel economy standards in what officials described as an effort to give drivers access to, quote, safer and, quote, more affordable vehicles in the latest swipe at former President Barack Obama's legacy. The Department of Transportation and Environmental Protection Agency proposed the vehicle change as the first formal step in setting new standards for model years 2021 through 2026. The plan would freeze the Obama-era requirements set to take effect after 2020. There are compelling reasons for a new rulemaking on fuel economy standards for 2021 through 2026, Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao said in a statement Thursday. More realistic standards will promote a healthy economy by bringing newer, safer, cleaner, and more fuel-efficient vehicles to U.S. roads, and we look forward to receiving input from the public, source Fox News. Obama's EPA claimed these fuel economy standards would help our environment. In actuality, it was the government's way of interfering with private industries. The forced requirements would have added tremendous cost to the production of new vehicles. Those costs naturally would have been passed on to you. Keeping the current standards in place, which were finalized in 2012, would add $2,340 to the cost of owning a new car and would impose more than $500 billion in costs to the economy over the next 50 years, according to the Department of Transportation, source Fox News. Of course, Obama's policies hurt Americans. It's as if liberals just assume most Americans could afford such a spike in buying a car and that our economy could shoulder such a drastic increase in costs. Obama loved punishing the middle class to carry out his agenda. Like most socialists, he didn't believe those who were successful deserved their wealth. They should be punished to help those who are considered victims. That even includes the environment, which liberals pretend is the biggest victim of them all. But what all about those working class Americans who need vehicles? Can they shoulder the extra $2,000 a month? Just $2,000 to buy the vehicle, just for a working vehicle? Clearly this was a scheme to give big corporations an excuse to charge more for cars. The rest of us, including small businesses that cannot afford the changes, would be suffering. But the good news keeps coming. Not only is Trump's EPA rolling back this bogus rule, but they are going after leftist states with their own terrible rules. The administration also filed notice Thursday that it wants to revoke the authority of California and other states to set their own stricter mileage standards, independent of federal ones. Acting EPA Director Andrew Wheeler said the frozen standards would deliver on President Trump's promise on fuel economy and greenhouse gas emission standards. Our proposal aims to strike the right regulatory balance based on the most recent information and create a 50-state solution that will enable more Americans to afford newer, safer vehicles that pollute less, Wheeler said in a statement. More realistic standards can save lives while continuing to improve the environment, source Fox News. There will be a battle over this. The brain-dead Democrats in California just banned straws. Of course, they want to punish the millions of residents who rely on cars to get around. Their strict rules would put a larger burden on most Americans with little to show for it. Thankfully, we have a president who cares about Americans first. I mean, really? Really? They're banning straws. California wants to ban the cars also. What about, they're not even talking about buying new cars that are more economical on the pollution and everything either. They're just going to charge you more, and they want you out of cars in California. California has become a cesspool at this point. They're banning straws. Now it's cars. They were attacking the emissions from a long time ago, and they're big freaks on climate change, which has nothing to do with anything. And they're getting the pollution from China that's coming in, where China's not going to do anything about that. So meanwhile, they're fighting for this climate change thing, for the pollution. Yeah, I'm not saying don't care about the environment, yes, but at what cost? Or what are you going to change? What are you going to accomplish? Zero, basically, with what they're pushing, Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.